Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comments section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. So guys, it has been a crazy time for me. As you guys know, I am selling my house. We did the open house this past weekend. I was dead tired after that. I'm my own agent. I'm doing all this kind of crazy stuff. So good news is if you are selling a home, it is definitely the time to sell. 18 offers on this beautiful house. So yeah, really great, just awesome. And yeah, it looks like no hitches will be had. We will be assumably having a brand new studio this time next month. I should be moving into the new place basically as of the 15th, I want to say. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a whole new studio, a whole new setup. Everything should be really new. I'm looking at some really cool new backgrounds. Gonna really kind of have sets ready. I'm gonna have a bigger room, more storage, all this kind of good stuff. So really cool that we will be getting to expand definitely. And I'm gonna try to take on an editor. I'm gonna try to take on all this other stuff to expand. So just want to let you guys know that I know it's been 2 weeks. No mobile weeklies, hardly any videos. I am trying to let people that even people that sent products know, like, hey, this is going down right now. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm trying to do as much as I can, but that is the situation basically. Like, my whole setup was right here. So you never really saw this much of the room, but it's gone now. There's nothing there. So gonna be a very more minimalistic setup over the next few videos. We do have a couple coming out though. We have a Scotty vest jacket video that's coming out. We got some Shure headphones coming out, and we do have, I've had it in studio this whole time, but I haven't got a chance to do it, the Samsung A53 5G. So all videos coming out on that, and just want to let you guys know that. Before we got started with the news, one more thing actually before we get started with the news, I am going to be at a convention next week. It's called PAX East in Boston. If any of you live in Boston or have been to Boston, where should I go? What should I try out? And if any of you have ever been to PAX East, let me know what should I take a look at, because that is something that I've never done. It's like a gaming convention. I love gaming. I'm going to do a presentation there live for Intel, so that'll be cool. Some really cool stuff going down. So yeah, just really cool things coming around, and yeah, just a lot going on, and I cannot wait for next month to start just everything. So yeah, but you guys came here for Mobile Weekly, and that involves news. So let's get to some of it. Now, granted, there hasn't been as much news over the next weeks. It's basically speculation on everything that we're going to see at Google I/O, which is next month in May, and then WWDC from Apple, which is in June. And that's kind of what we're really getting here. It's not too much, so really kind of cool to see how this all goes and where it is going to all actually take place, because we have a lot of rumors, a lot of things like that, but nothing actually basically set in stone yet. So the biggest rumor is, of course, for Google I/O, that we will be getting a Pixel 6a early. Now, the Pixel 5a came out in August of last year, so definitely this would be a much earlier time slot. I want to say August. I want to say it was like August or September, maybe it was September. But it was definitely a big difference there. So what we're now getting, though, is leaks that there are going to be a total of 4 Pixel phones coming out this year. So normally we get 3, right? Normally we get the A series, and then we get a regular number and a Pro number. So this year you can expect to see the Pixel 6a, the Pixel 7, and the Pixel 7 Pro. So that's what we were expecting to see coming up. But here's the thing. The biggest thing that is going to unfold this year is possibly, and what looks to be according to this leak, and that is the Pixel Fold is yet again being talked about, being rumored about, having come out this time around. Now, that's a really interesting fact. The other interesting thing that this leak shows is that the Pixel 6a is going to have 6 gigs of RAM. So that's pretty good too. Again, just getting more RAM, 12 gigs, 6 gigs of RAM, Android 12, getting all the stuff. Now, will it have the Tensor processor? That we're still getting mixed things about, but as of right now, it does look like it will. The Tensor processor was very interesting because in a lot of ways, it does just do really good at everything you need to do, but sometimes it caused app crashes, right? And I say this as a person that didn't really experience a lot of app crashes myself personally, but I have had way too many emails, way too many people telling me that they have had issues to kind of turn a blind eye to it. Like, okay, obviously people are having this go down. So yeah, this is just some things that we have begun to notice, to see that, okay, now that they've had a year to really fine tune the Tensor, will it be a lot better in this 6a version? I think that would be great to see, even if it's a little bit maybe toned down version of the Tensor. Maybe it's not, maybe it can't go as fast, but it's still reliable and it still does a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to the image processing. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see for sure. But that is the one big talk. The other talk is Wwdc. Now, I'm going to make a prediction right now that we are not going to get any products for Wwdc, that it will be all software. It seems like they're doing a lot of software based, because that's what Wwdc is. I don't think we're getting any products at Wwdc. I think the earliest we'll get products from Apple is possibly in August or so, and that'll be like a laptop refresh. And then in September, of course, we'll get the iPhones. But right now, Apple's kind of playing defense because they're under a lot of pressure right now from a lot of different court systems and a lot of different areas and regions in the world. So one of the biggest things is that Apple is being, pressured right now into opening up to sideloading. Now, this is something you can do since the inception of Android. If an app is no longer available in the App Store, hey, guess what? You can go to a reputable website and you can sideload it. I'm never going to show how to do that again because I got a strike in my last video where I showed that. Granted, it was a YouTube thing, so I think that's why it was more of a strike. But yeah, not going to go over that, but that was something that we've seen for a while, right? So the other thing, though, is that Tim Cook is trying to defend it right now. He's trying to say, well, we can't do this because of two things. And the first thing is privacy. Oh, that privacy of yours. Well, if we allow people to sideload it, well, then you're just going to allow these companies to get around and start tracking users again. Now, you don't want that, do you? And yes, so effectively what this could do is Facebook could make you, if you want to use their app, it will reroute you to sideload it, and then they do not have to do anything with Apple and their privacy concerns. So everything that iOS 14 brought gets wiped away. And Facebook would love that, of course, because it's worth billions to them. And would Facebook do this if they were allowed to sideload? 100%. 100% they would do this. Absolutely. They would gain billions back overnight. So yes, they would do this. Is that a reason to not allow sideloading? No, not really. Because if people don't want to use these apps, then they don't have to use the apps, right? So I don't agree with that, first of all. But secondly, the thing is, well, it's a security risk. If people can just sideload apps, well, then we don't have control of it. And then anyone could just, get viruses and, get malware and all this kind of stuff. Keep in mind, they don't control any of that stuff on the App Store on Macs. Of course, you can install whatever program you want without Apple verifying or needing to verify. You can, of course, install from unknown sources. But Macs are nowhere near as popular as iPhones. So at the end of the day, what is this really about? Is this about privacy? Is this about all that fun stuff of, making sure that things are really secure and, they can stop bad users? Will people run rampant? First of all, how many people will actually sideload apps? Like, how many people will actually sideload apps that are not techie? I don't think it's going to be an extreme amount. Unless, again, it's popular apps like Facebook or something like that that might, do that totally. But let's be honest. What is this really about? It's about 30%. 30% is a percentage that Apple gets, and they make billions and billions of dollars. It is more profitable. The App Store is more profitable than iPhone sales. So, what is this really about? It is about their profits. And they do not want to be forced to have to sideload. Because if they have to allow sideloading, then that will cut in huge to their profits. We are talking about billions and billions, 14 billions or more. Absolutely, definitely could possibly be. Right now, Apple has an app store. Right now, Apple has subscription services, and Apple has hardware sales. Software is king in those. And I'm not saying they don't make money off. Obviously, they do make billions off of iPhone sales, but they have saturated the market to the point that although they make money off of hardware, they make more off of subscriptions. They make more off of apps easily compared to everything else. So yeah, what does it come down to? The money. It's just like when they talk about, oh, we want to be the most environmental company, and they help create more e-waste than any other company in the world by having lightning adapters. So, all right. And then in the last news, we do have Meta. And I don't know why this is so washed out. Sorry. But Meta is basically going to enter into the AR glasses next year. In 2024. That is what it's going to be looking like. And this goes off of several things. First of all, we do know that Apple is developing augmented reality glasses. We know that Samsung is developing augmented reality glasses. And there are a lot of talk right now of Google jumping back into augmented reality. Obviously, they used to have Google Glass back in the day. It makes really a lot of sense for Meta because they have been at the forefront of virtual reality, obviously, with their Oculus headsets. And really, they rebranded augmented reality as the metaverse. And it's funny because I was talking about that to someone the other day. And it's so funny because for those of you who don't know, when people say the metaverse, all they're talking about is a virtual world, meaning a virtual world you can go to and interact with people, meaning virtual reality. So the only thing the metaverse actually is a rebranding of virtual reality. If you want to know what the metaverse is, it's not something scary. It's not something unknown. It's not anything. All that it is virtual reality. The promise of the metaverse is a place you can go to, interact with people, live in, all this kind of stuff. But really, all that it is what virtual reality hopes to be. And they needed people to start buying into this. So what did they do? They took a look at crypto, they took a look at NFTs, and they're like, you know what? we're going to take this train and we're going to blow it up. And we're going to call it the metaverse. And that is what the metaverse is. It's a rebranding of virtual reality. That's all it is. All the metaverse is virtual reality with a fresh coat of paint and a new promise to what will happen in the future when virtual reality is good enough, when you want to be there, when we get apps, we get all this kind of stuff and all this stuff. All that it is a rebranding. There's nothing more to it. There really isn't anything more to it. It is the same promise that we've had since there were games like The Sims and all this kind of stuff where you could live in another world, a virtual world. That is the metaverse. So anyone that tells you, oh no, it's this complex thing and all this, it's literally a virtual world, which is the promise of virtual reality. It always has been. I was at the forefront of VR. So I know all the stuff that VR has been promising forever. And this is the same stuff. This is the same stuff that they always said would happen. But yeah, it's all that it is. It's virtual reality rebranded. Because no one was buying into virtual reality. But they're buying into the metaverse. Because it's good marketing. All right, guys, that was the news for today. Now we are going to get to your questions. If you have any questions in the comments section down below, then we will get to it before the end of the show. So yeah, all right. Refreshing reset after the house hunting stuff. Yeah, man, it's house hunting stuff was crazy. All this kind of stuff. So, I have to be careful with my words here. I will tell you that tomorrow I have an audition for a normal thing. It's not huge or anything like that, but a 1-episode show for TV. Will it work out? Who knows? But I think it's a lot of fun, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. Circumstances happened, and we'll see. But yeah, it should be really fun. When I can tell you more, we'll let you know. But it will be really cool if I get to be on TV. So yeah, we'll see. All right. So yeah. But yeah, like you said, after all that house hunting, hey, congratulations on the new place. Thank you. Hey, Rudy, I just want to give you a shout out, dude. Congratulations on hitting a milestone. I think you posted on your Twitter or on your, on Instagram or something like that. But if you don't follow Rudy Can't Game, great gaming channel, go check him out. He's doing some really good stuff there. So congratulations, man. I see you keep getting higher numbers and everything like that. So congratulations. Just wanted to give you a shout out. Congrats on the new house. Is QLED a decent alternative to OLED? I want a TV, but don't want to spend the kind of money of OLED. So funny you asked that. So I actually long have preferred QLED compared to OLED because OLED still always has the ability to have screen burn-in. And to me, QLED is better because the benefit of QLED is that it gets brighter, especially Neo QLED, which is mini LED based. That is my current TV. I have a 75-inch mini QLED Samsung TV, or as they call it, Neo QLED TV. So, do I think that it is a really, really good TV? Absolutely. The reason for it is because it's brighter. And what I've learned, for the most part, in my experience with TVs, I have it mounted to, a wall, and I have a window that comes through on this side and a window that comes through on that side. So the TV is kind of in between two windows. And the problem with that is that when it's bright and sunny outside, the TV can get really washed out. But if the TV is as bright as Neo QLED is, it doesn't matter because you can still see it clear as day. So, an example of my current monitor. I never, ever opened up this window, like ever, right? I opened it up for the open house. And I tried to work on this monitor while that window was open. And it couldn't see. It's not bright enough. That is the benefit of QLED. It gets brighter. Now, OLED just got a surge of revigoration, you could say, recently because of Samsung. They just came up with the technology in Sony's new TVs and their own new TVs, and that is QD OLED. QD OLED is a stop on the way to the best new technology, which is micro LED. So micro LED is the future as of right now because it's better than OLED and it's better than QLED combined. So that's the future. That is the future. It is as bright, if not brighter, than QLED, and it can go completely black just like OLED. So it has the widest range of brightness, darkness, and color that you can get. That's micro LED. It's not really in anything right now. Mini LED is better than regular LED, and it's arguable between mini LED and OLED again because mini LED is basically a brighter and darker scenario, but it's not as good as OLED, and mini LED by itself is not as good as QLED. However, again, Samsung has made a mini LED QLED technology. So then we have what I just talked about, which is QD OLED that just came out this year. It was announced at CES from Samsung and Sony. Samsung makes the technology and it's in Sony TVs as well. Samsung makes a lot of the panels that every other TV industry uses with the exception of TCL and some LG, but LG often uses Samsung as well too. So that being all said, Samsung QD OLED is basically a fusion of QLED and OLED together. So what that means is you actually get OLED with better brightness and less chance of burn-in. So that's perfect. It's really good. The problem is currently right now, QD OLED is only available in 55-inch and 65-inch because it just came out. So if you're in the market for kind of the best of both worlds, you can get one of those too. The Samsung version is a lot cheaper than the Sony version because Sony always charges a lot more because of their Dolby Vision and certain other technologies that Sony adds, especially the image processing. And the Samsung will be less expensive, but still more expensive than a QLED, a regular QLED. So after saying all that and explaining all that, what would I recommend to people? I would still recommend probably a QLED for the money. If you want to go for the money, I think QLED's a really great way to go. If you can afford it, the Neo QLED is the better one because it does have more dimming zones, which will lead to better overall picture quality. So yes, QLED I think is really good. If you can get a mini LED QLED, you're all the better for it. TCL makes it, Samsung makes it, a lot of different companies have it, but that would be some of the benefits. So hopefully that helps. Whoa, a bunch of questions loaded. Everybody drink. Congrats on the house. Oh, nice. Pack sweet. Boston has the best public Wi-Fi I've seen in any state. Oh, really cool. What do you think of the Z Flip 4 needs? I could say what it needs, but it's not going to really have much of a change. Samsung sold a lot of flips, so they don't feel a need to change that much about it because it was a great seller. What will they change about it? They're probably going to update the camera a little bit. Maybe actually, because so ideally the Flip should get the same cameras as the S22 did. So the S22 had a big upgrade in cameras compared to year over year compared to the S21. Basically, instead of what was it? It's a 48 megapixel. I can't believe I forgot the camera. Galaxy S22 cameras. So just trying to get a quick thing on the cameras. This is the worst description ever. So yeah, so they have a 50 megapixel sensor on the main camera now instead of a 12 megapixel sensor. It's also a bigger camera. So that is a big improvement overall in terms of the quality on the camera year over year. So I think the Flip 4 could have a good shot of getting that camera. They're still going to get the same ultra wide that Samsung has used for the last 4 years or 5 years now at this point. So it's going to get that. I hope it'll have a bigger screen with more screen functionality. You know, we saw added benefits with a third-party app to the front screen. So I think that could be something that we could definitely see this year with the Flip 4, and I think people would be happy with that. A little bit of a refresh on the update of the look, better camera, and you get a bit of a more functionality on the outside display. And I think people will be happy. I think that's all Samsung needs to do. What would be nice to have? S Pen support. I don't think we'll get it, but that would be nice to have. I think a bigger battery would be nicer to have. Bigger screen would be nicer to have. Don't think we're going to get any of that stuff, so that's what I think we're going to get. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. What would make you get a Z Flip 4? I mean, the $1,000 price tag was really good, for sure. I've been thinking about iOS on paper so much better than the 8 Gen 1 phones, but in real world, they match up close. GS22 was slowing down their phones. What does that math work out? So yeah, in real world, phones are just fast now. It doesn't matter that they're this fast and they can do this much stuff and they can do this much stuff and all this stuff. Like, unless you are really trying to play PS3, PS4 graphical style games on your phone, you won't really notice a difference in speed. Unless you are video editing 4K footage, you're not going to really notice a difference in speed. Like, our phones are fast enough that we do not notice that anymore. They're good enough that you don't need the fastest ever phone. We passed that point. Now, in terms of, is there going to be a difference in overall speed and performance? Yeah, of course there will be. Always there will be. But at that same token, is Samsung doing things like hiding, slowing down their speeds and all that kind of stuff? Got caught, had to apologize? Yes. I talked about it when it broke out. I talked about it afterward. And again, if Samsung didn't hide it, it probably wouldn't have been that bad. But the fact that they hid it was the biggest thing that people got mad at. So yeah, it's really all this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what it kind of boils down to. That Samsung wanted to have better battery life, and they were afraid of the Gen Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. I hate the name because I always forget which. I'm like, wait, what? It was so much easier when it was 888, 98, you know, all that kind of stuff. Or at least just Snapdragon 8. I don't know why they had to call it Gen 1. At least wait till Gen 2 is out to call this Gen 1. Yeah, so in terms of, do we need that to happen? I think it's okay as long as we can get control over it, and at least, or they make it public. If they try to hide it, have a hidden list and all this kind of stuff like Samsung got caught doing, that's the really bad part for sure. So yeah. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions loaded. Everybody drink. Hey, Rudy King Game, thank you so much for the super chat donation and the travel. Apple, all about money usual, so no reason to buy an iPhone. AR Scouter, when? Man, AR Scouter, still don't know that. Metaverse equals sci-fi anime plot. Yeah, according to a lot of people, yeah. Meta, kind of like Ricky living in Mount Phone. Wait, Mount Phone? Um, what channel? I don't think I can say, so I won't. But some people I think are getting it. So yeah. Let's see. There's root channel. Ricky, my keyboard has never lit up on my S8 Ultra after I press the light button. Could it be a malfunction? Possibly. Let's see. If you turned it off, it could have been like you turned it off so it won't reconnect. So first of all, I think you do have to have it on, if I'm not mistaken. And then I forget where the brightness is on this thing. Oh, function. Did you know if you also hold down, this could be like a hidden feature basically, but if you hold down the function button on here until it lights up, then you can just press this button and then it will automatically by default do the functionality. So like there you go, it's lit up now. But yeah, that's just how you do it. Also checking your settings, because I think in the settings section for the keyboard case you can override it too, so check that. But yeah, that is how you do it. But it does have a cycle, so basically if you tap it a couple times, it'll go brighter, 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 off, brighter, 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 off. Let's see. So, follow-up question. What TV should I get for 600, 700? I'm okay with the 50-inch, maybe 55. Let's take a look. So, let's see what's available. For TVs, I still default go to Best Buy and then kind of go from there to see what else is out there. So, let's see. And the reason I go to Best Buy is I am a big fan of always recommending people buy open box. Why? Because open box, especially around this time, you might not have it as many anymore. But a little secret, I used to work when I used to work at Best Buy. I found this out, and that is that a lot of people during Super Bowl season, no lie, no lie, buy a TV and then return it. That is completely 100% true. And I saw it. We would have so many open boxes after Super Bowl season. So that was always kind of crazy that it just like clockwork always happened. It would always come around. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go over, and I do like certain brands, so I'm gonna stick with those. So I'm going to go with Samsung, TCL, and Hisense. You can go LG and Sony, but LG I don't like on the low end. I really do only like their OLEDs. I don't think their base TVs are any good. I think TCL will typically beat them on all of those. And then Samsung is competitive at that point as well. So yeah. So let's go ahead and see. So what are the best selling TVs we got here? So we got the Class 7 series from Samsung, and you wanted about how much? $600 to $700. So first of all, you have sales, right? So this TV is normally like $480, but then it's $100 off, and then you get open boxes as low as $309. So that's a good way to practice with this kind of system, is get the sale, and then the open box has to go lower than the actual sale price. So that would be really good. Hey, the keyboard's now working. I'm so happy I could help, Shaft. That's awesome. So yeah, so those are kind of things that you could do basically to really make it the best deal possible. So that's how you kind of do it. So, I mean, and it depends on what you're looking for, what kind of style. And then there's also going to be things you should know about certain TVs. So one thing you should know about is that when you get odd ones, so normal size are 50 and 55, and then sometimes 60 and sometimes 65. But there are some odd ones, like this one, a 58-inch. Now, typically, one thing you should check and take a look at when we're talking about odd ones is you should see how many HDMI connections there are in the back. The reason why that's important is because some of these odd ones come only for sales or specific limited time deals. So this one might have came out, say, for the Super Bowl time, because they know there's an increase of purchases on TVs during that time. And the problem with that is it might be a really good deal for a really good price, but it might only come with 2 HDMIs. And guess what? Most people, I would say, pretty much usually need 3. So that is just something that you should know and be careful with, because you might end up with less HDMIs than you need. Now, I don't know if Best Buy has a way to filter that, like how many HDMIs. No, they don't. So it's something that you just always kind of have to be cautious of when looking at these and looking these up, because you want to make sure, obviously, that you have enough HDMIs for what you're looking for. So that's just something you have to be kind of careful with overall with it. And again, sometimes you can get some really good deals. I mean, look at this. So one thing is Samsung TVs are refreshing right now. So I would recommend going to both Best Buy and probably Samsung.com themselves, because man, can you get some really good deals, especially if you use that trick I told you guys. If you go online and do a Google search, how to get a school email address. It lasted a good year for me before it got shut down because that email wasn't in any classes. But with that being said, it cost me $10. With that, I got amazing discounts and deals on websites like Samsung that you would normally only be able to get if you were a student. So that is something that, again, just a really good deal savings thing. Because right now Samsung does have some amazing deals on their TVs because they're doing a refresh. So a lot of these are last year's models from 2021, so you can get them at a good discount before the 2022 models come out. But I mean, look at this. You're talking about a TV that's normally $1,999 for $729. So there's definitely a lot of good deals out there. You can definitely find them. TCL's QLED series is really good. I definitely recommend theirs. And then you even have a 6 series, which is the one I really recommend, because that one is going to be their series that actually gives you mini LED. So that's really good. I mean, look at this. You have a TV that's normally $949 going for $482. I mean, that is insane kind of discount. So that's what I would look out for. This TCL one would be a great one to go with. And then again, check how many HDMIs, right? So let's do that. It's a 55-inch QLED TV. Let's go ahead and check out how many HDMIs it has. It's loading kind of slow. Not sure if a lot of people are on right now. 4 HDMI ports. It has Google Assistant. It has Google TV inside. It has 120 hertz refresh rate, full local dimming array because it's mini LED. This is a great TV and definitely one I would recommend. So yeah, this one I would totally recommend to a lot of people to buy. And let's see, what is, oops, not the ratings, buying options. $6.99. It's not as low in a store near me, but like say like this one I could get it for, instead of $699, get it for $552.99. Comes with all original parts, looks brand new, contains all the packagings. It's in excellent condition. I would always go for, excellent or certified if you can. Yeah, you can go lower than that, but then you can get some scratches and all that kind of stuff on it. Excellent is basically just brand new. So that would be perfect. I could get this TV that is $949 for $552 right near me. So yeah, really good. Definitely one I would recommend. Is there a way to ask for an open box version in the store? Yes, they usually have all open box versions in a section, but the problem is I would actually buy it online, because that way they'll bring it out to you. And again, then you could see it right then and there if you want to take it home, or if not, you can return it right then and there. So it does require you to kind of put a hold on it, but at least that way you don't have to deal with, because I'm going to tell you right now, some Best Buy employees aren't going to want to bring it out for you, or are just going to go in the back and then say, oh yeah, we don't have it. I didn't really look. But if you bought it, guess what? They have to look. They have to get it out of their inventory. So then they will actually look for it for sure. So yeah, that's a good fire way to do it. But this one's great. I would totally recommend this TCL Mini LED. This is an awesome one. Totally recommend it. So yeah, this one's a great one to go with. I am gonna take 1 second to, put it in my little affiliate link. So if you want to use it, it will be there. Give me 1 second, just to get that back. All right. And yeah, if you end up buying this one, it will help me out. But honestly, I just hope you get the right TV for what you are looking for. And that will be the best thing to kind of go on. But yeah, that's how I would recommend it. I would go online. They'll put it on, like I said, if you purchase it online, it's waiting for you at customer service. You don't have to go trying to find someone to get it or whatever. It's waiting for you at customer service. You can take a look at it, make sure it turns on. You can ask them, hey, would someone be able to be here to help me turn this on and make sure? I just, I'm nervous about buying an open box, so I just want to make sure it works and everything like that, and they'll do that for you. So yeah. But yeah, any other questions? Let's go ahead and see what you guys are asking while this loads up, because this thing always has issues. There we go. All right. iPhone sale. Game Pass works fine on a flip. Yay, there you go. Let's see. And here's the link for that TV. Okay. My wish list for Flip 4, make it lighter. Then I'm sold. Interesting. I have not thought how heavy the Flip 4 is compared to other devices. I never had a problem with it, but yeah. What is a good photo editor or video editor for my Tab S8 Plus? Free or cheap for now, not doing anything special. So photo editor, there is a lot of them out there. I would say if you're just doing social media for photo editing, I would say Snapseed. I always freaking get this name wrong. Let's see, Snapseed. I think it's Snapseed. Snapseed. Snapseed, it's one owned by Google. I will put the name in the description. So Snapseed, this is a really good one. You can do a lot of crazy stuff with a lot of cool things. This one is a great one for photo editing that you can really fine tune for the most part. However, for photo editing, for basic photo editing, Samsung has a really good one. If you actually click the edit button on either a video or a photo, you can actually do a pretty decent amount in terms of cutting up a video, doing transitions between the video, adding voiceover to the video, doing basic stuff like that. You can do that with Samsung built in. And then Snapseed would definitely be the more advanced photo editing. But even Samsung's built-in photo editor is not too shabby. Like, if I want to edit a photo, 9 times out of 10, I'll use the built-in Google Pixel or Samsung built-in editor to edit my photo. And then if I want to do a little bit more artistic stuff, then I'll go with Snapseed. But yeah, those are the main photo editors I would really use. In terms of video editing, there's so many. I still think KineMaster is one of the top ones, but that one does cost. I have not found a really great free one. But like Power Director, I think is $15 one-time purchase. KineMaster is a monthly subscription, so I don't like that. But there are more and more coming. I just have to do my research more on them to see which ones are really standing out. Adobe Rush is obviously one of them, but that one, it requires the Adobe subscription. So I don't recommend that, obviously, if you don't pay that. Although the school discount's really good, again. Let's see. I finance from Best Buy also. Yeah, absolutely. You can do a monthly plan. You know, most TVs are going to be at least 6 months financing at Best Buy, 12 months if it's over a certain amount. So yeah. Galaxy Watch 4 Classic came off. Repair took forever. Oh man, that sucks, Basic Tech. That really sucks. The ring came off and then the repair took forever. Man, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. It really is something that it sucks when repairs just take for like longer than they should. Like ideally a repair should be done in a week, I feel like. I don't think there's really any repair that should take longer than a week. For me, like that's understandable. Take a week, maybe a week and a half if you include shipping. But yeah, I mean, it sucks when repairs take long on that. So I'm sorry you went through that. The whole GOS was so overblown. Folks didn't know what it was about. I'd rather say battery than if your phone overheat. Absolutely. So Philip, I completely agree with you that I definitely rather say battery. I think that what Samsung did wasn't wrong in what they were doing. It was how they were doing it and how they hit it. That was what. But yeah, most people don't know what went on. So for sure, I agree with you on that too. What's your name? Ricky? RICKY, you know? Imagine you probably haven't seen Sonic 2 yet since you've been busy. I actually have been keeping up with all my movie watching. It's, you know, one of the very few things that get me insane. Plus, it's a great time to spend with my daughter, and I really love the time that I get to watch a movie with her. It's just special father-daughter time. So yes, I did see Morbius. Regretted seeing Morbius. And I saw Sonic 2. This week, I'm going to see Dumbledore. And then I already have my tickets for Doctor Strange 2. So movies, I have gotten a chance to book everything and see everything. So very happy and lucky I get to do that for sure. So yes. Sonic 2 was awesome. It really was good. It was a lot of fun. So definitely would recommend it. It took a funny and interesting title, by the way. Sonic 2 is now the #1 movie of all time based on a video game. So it is the #1 movie based on a video game of all time opening weekend. So interesting, right? Like it beat Warcraft, it beat Tomb Raider, it beat Uncharted that just came out. So it beat, you know, all the old school ones, the Mortal Kombats of the world and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of, what the heck was that? It's kind of interesting to see it going that far. So it's cool. It's definitely cool that it got that title. I'm really happy for it. And it's deserving. It is a fun movie. I think in the next one I would just kind of push those humans out almost entirely, and really kind of go with Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails moving forward. Um, and I really, really do hope Robotnik comes back, Jim Carrey. If you want to see 90s Jim Carrey, you should be seeing Sonic 1 and 2 because he really is back. He's so 90s. It's awesome. And I hope it's not his last movie, but we'll see if it is. Um, did you watch WrestleMania? What was your favorite match? Man, it was, yes, I did see WrestleMania. I saw both nights. There was a lot of fun and really cool stuff at it. I absolutely, the whole nostalgia factor of the Stone Cold match was nostalgia. It was there. So I love seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestle one last match. I think that was so awesome. And I wish they would have advertised it even more, because I think you would have got a lot of 90s kids who watched during that era that definitely stopped watching. You're talking about WWE now makes about 2 million viewers. At the time of Stone Cold, they were doing 9 million viewers a week. So yeah, that's how much difference it was. But Stone Cold is probably my favorite match. And then I loved Cody coming back. Cody Rhodes coming to WWE is great. I think he should be shot to the moon, pushed all the way. He should take the belt from Roman. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of cool things, a lot of great things. But yeah, a lot of fun. Flip 4 needed a price discount. 50% questions already has installed. Shameless plug. And an IR blaster inside of the S Pen would be, maybe they would consider. Yeah, the IR blaster would be great for sure. Wow, I forgot how to do this, Quiet Storm. It's been so long. Oh, there it is. Okay, so a shameless plug of the week, of course, is going to be for the app that I created, 50 First Date Questions. Very simple and easy to download and play app. It is available on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. It's a lot of fun. You ask them questions, they ask you questions. You find out about each other, and you find out if you were meant to be. Check it out. It's in free download, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's just a great time. If you ever have a date with a significant other, you will have a really awesome time. 50 First Date Questions. All right. Thank you for always wanting me to do my shameless plug, Quiet Storm. Let's see. Wasn't also there Resident Evil movies? There was a lot of Resident Evil movies, but Sonic outgrossed it, which again, it really is like Resident Evil movies never really made money after the second one. The second one was the peak of Resident Evil movies, and they started they made money, they didn't make much money. So yeah. Wait, Stone Cold? I'm not even a fan of wrestling, and I think I recognize that name. Yeah, no, he was wrestling hit its peak in the late 90s and 2000s easily in terms of viewership around the world, and Stone Cold was at the top of that. So yeah, you probably have heard the name for sure. $100 off a 2 terabyte Watch Visual Memory for PS5 on Best Buy and Amazon. Absolutely. Just make sure it has a heatsink. So I don't like that a lot of these SSDs have been saying they work on PS5 and do not have a heatsink with them. PlayStation has very clearly said you should have a heatsink because there's no ventilation there. So there's no way to stop it from heating up too much if it does heat up. So unless you keep it in a very, very cool area, I would definitely make sure it has a heatsink. A heatsink is a little thing that goes on top of the SSD that really makes it work. You can install one on there very easily and for very cheap money. We're talking like $15 or less. I will find that. Let me see. funny enough, I did do a video for this for Newegg. PS5. SSD. So this was at a time when there wasn't many available to be able to do it. And it was funny because every other influencer did it after me. So I feel like I did set that trend because I just saw that this was an opportunity and it was a definite good one. So I'll leave that link right here. But you can totally get one without a heatsink and then install the heatsink on there. And I show that and how to do it. The Western Digital SN850, they have a version of it with it and they have a version without it. But that's just one thing you should know about, just kind of showing you the steps in the video. This version has a heatsink on top of it. Let's see. Did I go over all of them that work with it? So this one doesn't have a heatsink. This one does. So that's the difference. This one has a heatsink on top of it, which will keep it cool inside the PS5. This one doesn't, but there is an easy way to install one. And that is just basically, you don't use these rubber bands, use the metal part. And basically it just plops right on top of your SSD and you're ready to go. So very simple, very easy, but yeah. Let's see. What's the best smart lock you can buy? You know, that's an interesting one for sure. Here's the thing. I will say I am partial to Eufy. Eufy I really do like for multiple reasons. But there are a lot of different types of smart locks, and that is one thing that I think is a real big difference. So let's see. So just to kind of show you Eufy smart lock. So there are a lot of different kind of smart locks, right? And you have doorbell ringers, all this kind of stuff. But in terms of smart locks, there's two things you should kind of know about. And here's two examples right here. So one is, I think you should always have a number pad in a smart lock. That's my opinion. I just like that ability because one, you can always not have your key with you, enter this code in, and bam, the door unlocks for you. Very simple, very easy, really great fun. The current version I have is the Yale lock. And basically you can hook that up with an August Wi-Fi adapter and you can remotely unlock it too. And even unlock it through Bluetooth and all this kind of stuff once you have that Wi-Fi adapter. But here's the thing. These also have Bluetooth instead of Wi-Fi, and you can get like a Wi-Fi adapter for these too. That is a possibility. And then some new smart locks have a fingerprint scanner. So like this one right here has a fingerprint scanner. Boom, fingerprint scanner, you're good, right? But there is a downside to this, and it is a scary one sometimes. And that is, this has no key. What that means is if the battery dies, you do not have a simple and easy way of unlocking this because it does not have a key. So that can be very dangerous, right? Like you literally have to find another way in your home if this dies. Now, to be fair, it tells you when it's low on battery. So it will tell you and let you know, hey, this is low on battery. So to stop doing that. So yeah, that's a definite way of being able to not do it. So Eufy has this, which is a key version with a keypad. It does not have a fingerprint scanner, but that is another option. So this is a different kind of setup. So I really recommend one with a key rather than not a key, but that is, again, what I would recommend. But I really like Eufy for multiple reasons. One of which is that their doorbells, so this is a little bit different from a lock, but their doorbells are one of the only doorbells you can get where it saves all the information offline onto a little storage thing that you can buy for them. This is a complete set, mind you, but you don't have to pay a monthly fee to be able to store all your data. So for me, I had 2 security cameras in this house. I'm going to have more in the next house. And I had a doorbell, but in my Nest doorbell, I didn't want to pay the monthly fee of like $15 a month just to be able to, see stuff from before. So I never did. And it sucks because it's like, well, I want to have it, but I don't want to pay for it, It just seems like a ripoff to me. So with Eufy, I can actually have this little base station right here. And that base station, I can put in a 512 SD card in, and everything is saved with that storage, and it overrides it when it's filled. So I basically have like a month's worth or plus of data backed up without needing to pay for it at all. So I really like that. I like that as a much better solution, definitely overall. So that's why I'm a big fan of Eufy, and they're made by Anchor. If you didn't know, Anchor owns them. So I'm a really big fan of theirs. Now there's lots of smart locks that you can get, and so if you just want smart locks, there's so many. But those are things to consider on smart locks. Is that sometimes they might not have a key. So that's all that it is. Sometimes it might have a key and it's like a little touch thing. So you can do that. Sometimes it's like a weird combination looking thing. There's lots of different ones to do, but you just have to know that if it's going to have a key or not, because that's going to be the biggest thing that I think that would affect you. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Let's see. Is there a way to stop spam text messages? One real good way would be, if you don't have it already, switch to Google Messages. Google Messages is pretty darn good about blocking spam messages. I really rarely get them on my Pixel. And it's just, it's a setting you do, and bam, that's it. And it just has it, a very easy way to have it. So yeah, that's one I would really recommend. Google Messages is a better text messaging app for filtering spam. Please help. I'm using my brother's phone, and it's an iPhone X with will not turn on. I mean, it's kind of like you need to figure out why it's not turning on. So is it maybe that the lightning port is damaged? Have you tried wirelessly charging it? Try that. If it's not turning on, it might be basically that it's not charging through direct connection. So try wireless connection. But that would be my first step to try to figure out why it's not turning on. If it's still not turning on through either wired or wireless, then something's wrong with it, and you should probably take it to a technician. So yeah. Oh, no key lock. I feel like at least having some sort of physical unlocking method on smart lock. You would think so, but when they mean keyless, they really mean keyless. And if they did something that anyone could undo, well, then what's the point of having the lock? So I get it, but I don't get it. So yeah. I remember I was explaining that to a friend, and he was just like, you immediately lost me at, if the battery dies, I can't do anything. And it's like, it's true. Like that's facts. And that happened with my lock. It was saying that it was low battery. I didn't change it for like a month. Should have. And my wife didn't bring her key, but she knew our keypad, but it was dead. So you couldn't do the keypad anymore. You had to do the key. Luckily she was able to get in through the garage, but that's an example. So yeah. All right, guys, I think we will end the show there. Thank you guys so much for coming back and watching after a couple weeks gone. I really did miss our time together. It's always like, therapeutic for me talking to you guys and just kind of seeing, helping you guys out with anything you need, and then just having some talk. So definitely missed you guys. We should be back Sunday, no problem. Hopefully there's more news though. There's just not much tech news right now. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get at least one video out. My goal isn't very high this week. I'm trying to get one video out this week. Probably the Shure headphones. So yeah, definitely going to try to get more out there. But as of right now, I'm working with very little right now. So if you guys have any ideas on episodes where I could just talk about stuff, let me know in the comment section. All right, guys. Thank you guys always so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.